Whit, I know there's a bunch of golf drama. I didn't know if you want to talk about the IBC Canadian Open with Rory trolling Greg Norman, or the Reed.
Oh, Rory McIlroy with an insane tournament in Ontario for the Canadian Open. He won it the last time it was played before COVID. I think it was 2019. He wins it again. Pretty great day for the PGA Tour to try to just fight against this Liv Golf series and the unlimited amount of money they have to spend. We talked about it, but Rory goes out and it's a battle between him and Justin Thomas, two of the best in the world, and also two of the most vocal guys in terms of fighting back against Liv and like saying how horrible it is and how they would never do it. So the tour could not have asked for anything better. If they had some no name win this event, it's kind of like worst case scenario for them. They were able to get their top dog out in front. And then, yeah, in terms of trolling Greg Norman, it was Rory's 21st PGA Tour victory, which is just so wild. Like 4 majors. He should have more. I'd love to see him win this week in Brookline at the Country Club. But it was his 21st PGA Tour win. And he said in the press conference after, yeah, it's one more than somebody else. Greg Norman had 20 in his career. So a little subtle jab over at Greg Norman, maybe the most hated man in golf, along with Phil Mickelson right now. So it's just wild to see. And the Live Tour, I'm going to be honest, I tuned in a little on Friday, Thursday when it began. It's going to end up like working. I don't know if it'll be around in 4 or 5 years, but it's like they got the scoreboard similar to the F1 scoreboard with 3 letters in the 3 letters of the guys' last names. They don't have a scoreboard online on the website, which is a little confusing. I mean, this is their first broadcast on YouTube or on their website. They're going to have to figure out the kinks. And the thing is, though, there really is not much going on. Like they're playing for this absurd amount of money. Charles Schwartzer won $4.75 million for winning the event. I think the top 5 players combined at the Canadian Open were paid about 3.3 combined, or 3.7. So it's just like the problem I think Liv will have is that it's what is it for? And like, I guess you could say that about certain random PGA Tour events that guys that you've never heard of win, but it's just a straight up cash grab. And from what I did hear is apparently like on the grounds, it's fun. I guess they had a big concert after that a lot of people hung around for. I think it's probably a way more laid back vibe with music pumping everywhere, drinking. I'm curious to see what it's like. There's actually an event coming to a horrible golf course, the International, just brutal, in Bolton, Massachusetts. So there's a Live event coming to Boston. These guys think they see Live Boston. They're going to stay there. It's like an hour, 20 minutes away without traffic. So imagine what they think when they end up realizing they got to drive to Bolton for the International. But I guess on the grounds, it seemed like a good event in terms of watching it. I don't know. Maybe if you get some of the big heavy hitters coming down the wire and finishing it off the tournament, it could get exciting. The one thing that is cool is the shotgun start I talked about, because every guy finishes at the exact same time. So it's a bizarre time in pro golf, though, like the craziest time ever in the game. The PGA Tour is kind of on life support.
You said Greg Norman, the most hated guy in golf. Maybe just as much as Phil Mickelson. Now, did you know anything about his reputation before all this? Like, is he known? Like, you seem to know all the golfers and what they're like behind the scenes.
Yeah, well, he tried doing this before. I think in the 90s, he was like a part of trying to have like this breakaway tour. And I don't know where his hatred for the PGA Tour stems, but he hates the PGA Tour. Like, he has been looking to bring them down and change golf in that way to get basically guys out of the tour and playing in different events. And basically he's always talking about how they're contractors? I can't think of the word. There's some term in terms of like what they are in terms of not being employees. The whole thing is the PGA Tour is a nonprofit. I think I mentioned this last week, where they should just maybe try to become a for-profit organization, be able to pay guys a little bit more. I don't know what they do. That's the problem. If you're looking at the PGA Tour and you don't want the current model to be changed by this Live Golf money grab, it's like, I don't know what you could do against a force that has an unlimited bank account. So, like, there was a thing on a podcast, like, what's to stop the Live Golf Tour for throwing a golf tournament the same weekend as the Masters for $100 million purse? Like, you know what I mean? Like, when you have like this amount of money, this think about it. Like
Dr. Evil shit.
And the Saudis, I don't think, RA, tell me if you're wrong. And RA, you mentioned how much it disgusts you based on Saudi's involvement and being behind 9/11. The 9/11 Foundation, I don't know if it's called, they came out with a big letter basically calling out the American players and saying, like, how could you be a part of this with what is happening? And that's a pretty powerful message, you know. It's like that is something that hits close to home for a lot of Americans. But what's to stop them from like continuing to spend this much money? And I don't think they ever plan on making any money. I think this is straight up what they call sports washing, and that is to make your regime and your country look more normal and have more respect through sport. So I guess they're willing to spend billions of dollars and not get anything in return. Well, but in terms of the athletes, like, fuck, man, these guys, you keep upping the prices, better players keep going. Who knows where this ends?